changed to how teacher, because of technology, they now have to show the student how to find the information. So what kind of support or training can or should be provided to teacher to equip themselves with the skills?
Right now on the internet, actually most information, if you know where to search, is very, very good information. But there's also information that may not be true. So we have to teach the children how to find these resources. And perhaps like we have done a research in UNICEF and also at Stanford, asking like high school students to for some pediatric information. And half of the students actually believed in some of the fake sites. So it is a challenge right now. And if you ask me how to train the teachers, this would be a very difficult question. But most teachers, they do have an area of expertise. For example, I would be education. I would have a whole list of sites that I think the children or parents can go to and get information. So when people ask me, I can provide that. So I guess for most teachers, they would really have to surf the net and get these, informations or sites that they think is credible, and then share them with the students. And if the students are not sure whether the site is good or bad, they can always discuss with the teacher and see if they can believe in what they're reading.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Chen, for your answer. Yes, like I mentioned, many children in the world, they were such as Nigeria and Syria, they were deprived of their right to receive education. So we all have to cherish it. So, Dr. Chen, I would like to ask you a question that apart from students, they have to have the whole heart, ji heart, and wood heart quality. Do you think what is the ideal mode of education should be in Hong Kong?
The Hong Kong education system, because we have been colonized for a long time, about 100 years. So we have actually set up our education based on the colonial style. And because we're no longer a colony, I think we need some kind of structural, I think we have to do reforms. I'm not a big fan of DSE because I think the examination actually caused a lot of anxiety and pressure for teachers and students and parents, and also the whole system. And if we can make some changes with the way to enter universities, I think the whole system will have a lot of breathing space, breathing room for children to learn different things. Because as you know, from now on, what the world will be looking for is not a degree, no longer a degree, but what's inside you, your own expertise. You don't have to be good with everything, but right now people are actually looking for people who can do things, just be good at one thing. They ask Bill Gates if you can go back in time and then do things differently. How would you do things differently with Microsoft? You know what he said? He said, I would not hire all-rounded people. I would hire people who can do good in one thing. I would just one thing. That's what he said. And I really think that is true. You don't really have to be good at one thing. The thing that you like, that excites you, that you want to do every day. Like for me, it would be actually singing or maybe raising children, although my sons are all big. But so I turn into education. But for other people, it might be like one of my students actually, he loves sneakers, like sneakers that you wear, sneakers. And so he would spend all his money on sneakers. He knows everything about sneakers. And then he's a designer now of sneakers. He was actually like an intern when he was already in university with Nike. And now he's a designer. He only has to do one thing. and then he is doing things he wants and he's making a living. So you don't really have to be like, of course we want everybody to have the humanities, but we also want people to be experts in one good thing that they like.
So one student said that, do you think the AI would be able to mimic the intimacy that students get from interacting with a teacher than a human?
Yes, I think I misunderstood your question for a while, because I thought that, I really think that people can fall in love with AI. And I think it's possible, and we will get used to it by learning and talking to an AI or teacher. Through technology, although just like now we're far away from each other, we can still communicate, and we will get used to it. In the beginning, it's sort of like difficult, just like, I got disconnected right now, but it is possible. And when we learn better, it will be okay. But there's one problem, is that there's still like half of the students do not have internet connection. They do not have the hardware to go online. So even in developed countries like America, some students, although they have to go on the internet to get their lessons, they cannot, because they do not have an iPad, they do not have a computer, they do not have internet connection. So in many ways, there's still a lot of problems that have to be solved before this can go universal.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Chen. Yes, I have a few questions for Dr. Chen too. Yes, nowadays, many Hong Kong people stress the importance of win at the start line. Do you really believe in that, Dr. Chen?
Pardon me, can you say it again?
Yes, nowadays, many Hong Kong people stress the importance of win at the start line, 贏在起跑線. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Do you really believe in that?
I think anybody can try that, because parents really want their children to have a good head start, right? But as my new book says, it's not 贏在起跑線. It is important to 愛在起跑線. Because if you want your children to succeed, to be able to fulfill their potentials, you have to show a lot of love and affection during the early ages of life, especially from age 0 to 3. First of all, from 0 to 12 months. This is so crucial, because we learn a lot of things. During that period, we learn how to believe in people, believe in ourselves. And we learn that, if we communicate, people will understand us. So all these things we have to be really be careful to give our children when they are young. So it's not so much if you want to win, then you have to love your child. Affection is very important. So, but in my new book, I have all kinds of methods that you can use to train the brain, to help the development of social development, and and also the body development and everything. So as long as you try very hard in the beginning of your child's life, you can definitely win on the start line. You can give your child a very good head start. But as I have said before, you don't need to compare your child with anybody. You don't have to win. If you have to compare, you just compare the child with the child himself. See if he's doing better than yesterday. If he's doing better than yesterday, what can you prepare him to do so that he can be better, when compared to himself the next day? How can he become a better person? That is a, positive way of comparing. But don't compare. It's not a race. There's no race. If we race, we're racing together for a better future. And we can all have our trophies. We can all be number one as long as we try.